Alright, today I want to talk about my top 5 favourite to play when solo queuing in Rainbow Six Siege. So I'm going to go through 5 different operators and I'm going to just talk you through how I like to play them and why I like to play them in solo queue. There's a few of these are probably not going to surprise you because, I mean, right now there's four defenders in the game that are just broken. They're pretty much known to be called the Fantastic Four right now. Anyways, let's get straight into the video. So my first top favourite defender to play when solo queuing is actually Lesion. And the reason for this is the fact that he's got such a well-rounded kit and he's got the sort of ability to be able to hold different things, multiple things at the same time. One of the big problems with solo queuing is that you're on your own. You don't have a lot of info. You don't have a lot of teammates to help you back you up, and you don't have anything for rotates usually as well. Like a lot of times I'm playing and people are forgetting to play shotguns, or people just aren't playing anybody with a shotgun. And Lesion has the shotgun and the impacts to be able to set up how you want to set up as well. So I'm going to go just top into a random game of Oregon, like a kids defense, and just kind of talk through Lesion a little bit. So there's two main ways you can play Lesion when you're playing them solo queuing. And that's, one of them is to kind of help your teammates out by just stacking them up on different entry points to the site. So let's say I'll just stack one up white stairs, I'll stack one up trophy door, I'll stack maybe one on the default plant here, and maybe one on the plant over here, or this plant. Just so that I know if they go in the plant, they'll get hit by a Lesion mine and have to stop, have to not be able to plant for a few seconds, they'll have to get it back out and go back in, etc. That's one way you can play Lesion, and that's the more sort of support player way, where you just kind of just set up the site for your teammates, and then you play back on site, wait for your mines to come, and then just start throwing them down on the entry points. Which is it's a good way to play Lesion. However, it's not really my favorite. My favorite is to kind of hold down positions with them. So I'll give you an example of holding Armory. So you can just kind of open up these walls, open up the hatch so you can leave, or so you can fight garage as well. And then what you can do is you can just start stacking up mines that'll help you. So one of the big things you have to worry about when you're playing here is getting pushed up Armory stairs. So you might want to stack a Lesion mine there. You might want to even put one. That kind of was a shit one. Well, you want to kind of put them in places where they can't really see them, but they'll still walk into them. And this is like if you put it close on the angle like this, they won't really see it. And then when they sort of peek wide to try and peek on you, they're gonna hit it there because they'll have to peek wide to get the best angle on you. And then I put just basically you want to put them in places that people that might come from to try and help to stop you, that you're not watching with a gun as well. I don't realistically I can put one here, and I can put one on the master door as well. But then realistically I just want to kind of hold here with my gun for a little bit, hold in case anybody runs into the closet. And then I know that my Lesion mines are covering my main stairs, and I know if anybody comes in garage because they'll hit my Lesion mine, then I can go pick the hatch and get a freebie. That's kind of how I like to play Lesion, and why I like to play Lesion solo queuing. Generally, there'll be a theme with these operators is that they'll be able to do multiple things. Lesion has the shotgun, the impacts, and the mines to be able to create multiple presences around the map. What I mean by that is you're not just limited to holding only thing that your guns what I mean by that is you're not just limited to holding only the thing that your gun's pointing at. You can have impact in other places by Lesion mining people, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go on to the next solo queue operator now. So the second solo queue operator that I like to run as well a lot of the time is Valkyrie. And the reason why, I mean, it's pretty simple. Info. You do not get info from your teammates when you're solo queuing. You do not get, well, you do sometimes. You might get the odd call out. You might get the odd guy flaming somebody. But you don't get good information. You don't get valuable information from your teammates. So what I like to do sometimes on some maps is run into walls apparently. So what I like to do on some maps, a lot of the time, is to play Valk and set them up where people like to push. So let's say on Oregon, I'll put one for this attic push, which I can kind of just put here. So that and basically what I'll do as well is I'll just kind of play safe on site, knowing that my cameras are there to give me the info that I need to know for who's pushing where. I'll put a Valk cam there, and then the third one I can put anywhere, I can put a trophy or something. There's this video is not really about Valk cams, it's more about just kind of the idea of how I would play Valk in game. So now I know that I can sit backside here, I can sit safe in kids here, and have info on the master push. I can hear if anybody goes into trophy, I can hear if anybody comes up white, I can see white, and I can also see attic. Now all I need to do is watch these cameras, wait until I see somebody start pushing them, get off, aim at that angle, take a fight, win the fight hopefully, get back my cams, check another angle, Okay, someone's coming up white again. Take another fight. Okay, get back on my cams. Oh, someone's coming like attic now. Let me just check attic. Like stuff like that, it makes it so much easier when you know that. Like obviously by the time you get off the cam and you peek the angle, there's going to be a little bit of old info, but you know for the most part that info is right. If you have your teammates calling shit out for you, generally a lot of the time they're just wrong. So it's just not ideal. As well with Valk, is you have the ability to sort of play vertical C4s as well. So if I want to do, I could do like a bit of a late rotate down white if nobody's pushing white, and go and put a C4 on the breach. Or even like if I put this cam in master, I can check the master cam. Okay, there's somebody walking through master. Let me just go and C4 him, and I'll get the C4 kill on master. Like that from the info off the cam. That just like stuff that you don't have to rely on your teammates to do, like little plays that you don't have to rely on your teammates to do, you can do by getting the info yourself with Valk. Alright, so my next solo queue operator I'm going to talk about is Solis. And Solis is a really fun operator to play solo queuing, and well, even in stacks just fun to play. But the reason why I like to play Solis is mainly for the drone denial. If you run around in the prep phase and kill maybe 3 or 4 drones, it just makes it so much easier to play like a bit aggressive and a bit ratty. Because generally when I'm solo queuing, I feel that like I need to kind of play aggressive for an opening pick, or my teammates will probably get opening picked, if that makes sense. Like if I don't play aggressive to get the pick to turn the tide into our favour, my teammates generally kind of just try and do it themselves and just die. And I'd rather be like being able to do that myself. And with Solis, if I just go around and kill the drones, I know that like I can play more like ratty and aggressive and like just basically unpredictable, and then have the ability of the Solis to know that I'm not being droned, and to basically just make it easier to do that. And also I like to jump out and stuff, and you can check for claymores before you jump out, and then you can jump out, get a freebie, and Mr. Melee, nice. Get a freebie. So yeah, and as well with Solis, you also have the ability to stop plants as well. Again, it comes back to info that you don't get from your teammates, but you can get with Solis. This is better to show you on the top floor site, where you can go below, wait until they start planting, wait a couple of seconds, and then just start impacting them below. Double impact them and it'll down them. And with Solis, if you have the goggles out, you can't still impact with the goggles still on. Or as well, you can play with a gun and just like take your goggles off and just start shooting them. But I like to just double impact them, get them down. So basically, because I'm a bit of an aggressive player, just makes like Solis just makes life so much easier. I know if I'm safe to flank, because I like to flank. I know if I'm safe, and I know that like if I see a drone watching me, I know that they're gonna know that I'm there. So I'm either just gonna leave, or I'm gonna play off that and try and pretend that I didn't see the drone or something, and then try and get like a sneaky play that way. But yeah, so that's basically it for Solis. Alright, so the fourth operator I want to talk about is Smoke. And I mean, there should be sort of no like surprise that Smoke's on this list, because like the kit that he brings, and the smokes, the ability to just set up site how you want to set it up, just makes life so much easier. Like when I'm solo queuing, I know for a fact that my teammates aren't going to set up site how I want them to. And a lot of the time I end up just start roaming because of that. Like I know that these guys are going to make some dumb holes that's going to end up getting me killed. So if I just roam, then I don't have to worry about it, if that makes sense. So that's what I like to do a lot of the time when I'm not playing Smoke. And to kind of just put a stop to that, you can just play Smoke yourself. As well, if you just play Smoke and anchor site, generally if you get good at doing this and just anchoring site with Smoke, you can just win more rounds basically, and let your teammates have their little fun playing their little fraggers and stuff. And knowing that if your teammates were playing Smoke, they're probably not going to be as good as you are playing Smoke. So if you get good with Smoke, you can just literally be the anchor that the team needs to win more games. It might be a bit boring to just sit on site, but that's when you want to start having fun by playing like aggro with a shotgun, which is what I really enjoy doing. For example, if I do an elbow extend, you can sort of like, obviously you'll have the shield here, you can play with the SMG11 behind the shield and stuff, and then like maybe kill a drone or something, and then just start like pushing up here with a shotgun. And nobody expects this swing, and if you swing the guy that's playing close on the door tucked left here, if somebody's there and you're like, here I'm shuffling around, you can literally just swing them and down them like that. You can even down people behind the barrels here as well, by the way, with a shotgun. It's that strong. Like just playing aggro like that as well makes it easier, because you can be like the anchor on site while still being able to get like the opening picks and stuff that you need to win the round. So yeah, that's basically it for smoke, just like the barbed wire so you can have different angles like covered from sound, like for sound, sorry. So I know that, alright, if somebody comes bottom laundry, I'll hear them melee the barbed, or I'll hear them shuffle through the barbed, and then I can play like, just play on site and hold things, like hold other things. Alright, so the final operator I'm going to talk about in this video is Fenrir, and the reason why. The reason for picking Fenrir is kind of similar to Lesion, in that you can hold multiple things without, like, at the same time, and you can get info for where they're going to come from, like you would if you were playing Valk, because of the traps. So how I'll play Fenrir usually is I'll put traps on the entry points like I would with Lesion, or like I would with the Valk cams. So I'll put like a Fenrir trap for Attic, I'll put one for Master or Trophy or White as well, or even Big Window or the plants as well. You can like put one here and then it'll go for the plant. So yeah, like just putting them on the entry points. But when I play Fenrir, I don't just put them on top of the doors because that's predictable, and people will either just like run in pre-firing them, or they'll like do some stupid shit like that. What I like to do is to kind of like put them behind things, so like they're a bit out of the way. I'm trying to think of a good example here. So like instead of just putting it on the breach or something, you can kind of like hide them up here, or like up there. That's not very hidden, but even just like on the back of here, where that like they're not expecting to get popped. Like they're not expecting something like that to pop when they get out all the way out here. They're expecting like when they come straight through the breach, or when they come straight through a doorway, not a little bit down the hallway, and then they're stuck in no man's land. To be honest, another example could even be like, instead of like on white stairs, instead of just putting it at the bottom, you can kind of like just put it here, like on the floor like this, and then by the time they walk up the stairs, they're gonna have to be pre-aiming the door, and they're gonna be in the range here and get popped and blinded, and then they have to turn around and run all the way down the stairs, like, and you can just swing them from top right and just make a freebie for you. Stuff like that. Like instead of just putting them on the doorways, just be different with them. Put them in places where people have to be already in a gunfight, or like they can't put it in places where they can't just be able to turn around and shoot it because they're in a gunfight, if that makes sense. So like if they're up here, or like if they're by the time they pop it, they'll be like here. At this point, they're probably holding the rotate hole here, or or they might be trying to like sprint up to get an angle on sight or something, and then they'll get popped and have to come down all the way down the stairs like that. So yeah, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, and I'll see you in the next video.